What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Kejuannh Humphreys, and last night was the official start of the NFL regular season, where we saw a banner rising, we saw a pregame spitting ejection, and we saw a lightning delay that lasted a little over an hour. We're talking about the Eagles and the Cowboys, man, where we saw the defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles, take home a 24-20 victory over the rival Dallas Cowboys. I wanted to hop in here and just talk about a couple of my takeaways from that game last night and just get y'all thoughts as well on how y'all felt about the game and how y'all felt about the Eagles and the Cowboys moving forward. So, I want to start off with the winners. The Philadelphia Eagles, man, the biggest takeaway for me is that they're still really good. And that is breaking news to some, not to a lot of us. The Philadelphia Eagles are still really, really good. We saw the game script. We saw the prototypical Philadelphia Eagles game where they just ground and pound. They dominate on the ground and take care of business on the defensive end. Jalen Hurts did not have the most spectacular game passing. He did not make any mistakes, but he managed the game really well. And to be honest, that's the thing about Jalen Hurts. He managed the game at an elite level. He was just like, he didn't have the craziest stats, but you can tell he had full control over the game. 19 for 23 complete on his passes, a little over 150 yards passing. He had 60 yards on the ground, including 2 touchdowns. Not tush pushes. And the big thing for me was just his mobility, man. And that's what brings us to the dance. His ability to get out of the pocket, his ability to extend plays, his ability to make plays where there was nothing there. And we saw that a couple of times, especially in that first half, where it looked like the Cowboys would have him contained. He would just squeak out and go get a first down, go get, quality yards, even go get a touchdown. Saquon Barkley did not have the craziest game, 18 carries for 60 yards, 1 touchdown. As you would expect, the Cowboys had Saquon Barkley circled, highlighted, and underlined on their scouting report. The man went for, did he go for 2,000 last year? He went for a lot of yards last year, and they did not want to be, first in line for whatever he's got going this year. I fully expect him to get back to being Saquon Barkley if he stays healthy because, he's just that good, and the guys he got around him are that good as well to open up the floor for him. The passing game, man, I just told you, Jalen Hurts did not have the craziest game passing, and it reflected on the play of the receivers. Excuse me. Notably, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown only had 1 target, 1 catch for 8 yards. Was really a no-show, was really playing like a decoy or something, but he just was not at all involved in the game. And I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to push the big red button on it just yet because it is week 1. But this is something that we saw last year as well. A.J. Brown not being used as the talent of receiver that he is. And it's simply because they don't need him. They don't need to throw the ball down the field when you can run the ball efficiently and just hold the ball and chew the clock and dominate the game that way. But I know for those of you that like to see the ball fling up and down the field, this was, something you did not like to see. Even Devontae Smith did not have the craziest game. He only had a couple of catches himself. Only, maybe 15 or 16, 17 yards. Not the most production as well. Dallas Goedert had himself a good game. He was the most targeted receiver for the Eagles, and that's something you want to see, from coming from last season, not having the biggest season last season. Now looking at defense, the defense definitely suffered from the Jalen Carter ejection early in the game, at the beginning of the game, because we saw in the first half, the Dallas Cowboys just ran the ball down their throats. They ran the ball right to where Jalen Carter would be. And I'm going to be honest, when you lose your best player on the defensive end, you're going to see it. You're going to feel it. And they felt it in that first half. They were able to turn things around in the second half. But they were definitely, it looked like it was going to be a shootout. The first 4 or 5 possessions, there was no stops. There might have been no stops in the whole first half. 21-20 first half was the first half score. And there might not have been no possessions where somebody did not score. Adoree Jackson, that second cornerback position for the Eagles is going to be a question mark. We saw Adoree Jackson get absolutely targeted over and over and over in the first couple of drives for Dallas. And that's really just because, you got Kejuannh Mitchell on the opposite side. He's been really good. He was really good last year. He's going to be really good this year. And you used to have Darius Slay over there, but Darius Slay gone. Now they're looking for someone to step up and be that cornerback to be opposite of Mitchell. And I'm interested to see who it is going to be. But looking at week 1, it ain't gonna be Adoree Jackson. I think the Eagles defense played well, but I think they were also a beneficiary of some mistakes and some blunders by the Dallas Cowboys. The fumble by Miles Sanders inside the 10-yard line, the drop passes from CeeDee Lamb, just different plays that if they make them plays, they would they may have won the game. They may have won the game. So that's something that we're gonna look at moving forward. The Eagles got the Chiefs next week, so we're gonna Super Bowl rematch next week, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So looking at the Cowboys, the other team in this matchup, I love what I saw from the offense, man. I know the second half they didn't score, but what I saw from the offense was really, really good. They go out and get a George Pickens, who did not have the best game, didn't really show up at all, really. Only had a couple of catches for maybe 15 yards. But him opposite of CeeDee Lamb is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. CeeDee Lamb had himself a day, 7 catches for 110 yards. We saw the running game that we didn't know what it's going to look like. Javonte Williams leaves Denver, comes to Dallas, and has himself a pretty decent game, all things considered. He had a couple touchdowns. I think he didn't run for that many yards per carry, but his runs were like, okay, third and 2, give it to him, and he picks with the tough first down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing how the run game progresses over the course of the season, because we know the Cowboys' run game has really been non-existent for the last several years. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Dak Prescott as well, I think he was all right. He didn't throw for any touchdowns, but I think he played a game that could have won him the game. Like I said, the blunders, the mistakes, especially in that second half, is what costed them this game. And if they can clean that up, they may be a legit threat in the NFC East. They may be a legit threat. They may come in second. I don't know if they're going, beat the Eagles or catch the Eagles, but they may come in second and catch them a wild card spot. Tonight, Friday night, we have the Chargers and the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a good one. They're going to be up in Brazil. The Chargers are always a team that everyone's really, really excited about because of, the prospect of who they have and their potential. But we got to see it. We got the Kansas City Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl loss, and Kansas City in the regular season is really nasty. I think they only lost one game last year in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? So Kansas City, there's no home field. We're going to see what that Brazil crowd is probably going to lean towards Kansas City, but we will see what happens. I'm looking forward to watching that game. I may hop on here and talk about it afterwards, but I do not know. I do not know if I will do that. I don't know if I'm going to be free to do that. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks. Put in the comment section how you feeling about week 1. Your team. Put in the comment section your team, your NFL team, who you're pulling for this year, who you got winning. Give me your predictions. We can just chop it up in the comment section. But until next time, going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.